Well, let's kickstart the show by putting the spotlight on Amazon India. And would you believe that it's been 10 years since the company first set up shop in the country? It's been a very interesting journey from looking at cloud services, e-commerce, to partnering with Indian Post, the Indian Railways, lakhs of Kirana stores, as well as Amazon Pay and Alexa. It's been a memorable journey. And ditto has been the case when it comes to some of the company's marketing campaigns as well, such as the Aur Dikhao campaign or the Har Pal fashionable one. Joining in on the show right now to discuss that as well as the journey of Amazon India is Ravi Desai, Director India and Emerging Countries, Prime and Marketing at Amazon. Ravi, thanks so much for taking time out and joining in. Now, as you know, Amazon has really evolved from when it first set up shop in 2013 to what it has become now. So digital focus with penetration in the country as a whole. There have been lots of memorable campaigns. Tell us a little bit more about how the thought process and the idea for the campaign as well has evolved along with the brand.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And yes, it's super exciting as we come up to our 10th anniversary. Uh, I think the journey of the brand in the country practically mirrors the evolution of e-commerce with Indian customers, right? So we are thinking about the days when we literally set up shop, and we were new to the country in terms of the e-commerce revolution itself was just about getting started. We have always believed in being, Earth's most customer-centric organization in whichever part of the world that Amazon is present in. And the same spirit continued to sort of inspire us as we set out to build the brand and build e-commerce practically in the country from scratch. Right. So right from the start, the products, the services, the offerings, the customer experience, both on site as well as at the doorstep, all of that has been essentially inspired by our quest to be the absolute most customer centric company that Earth has ever seen. We believe in the fundamentals of our business to be threefold. Customers want endless selection of products. They want the right competitive prices, and they want a convenient experience, whether it is ordering on the app or it is receiving at the doorstep, right? And each phase of our journey, we've looked at a deep-rooted Indian cultural insight to try and marry it back to one of these foundational pillars of our business, whether it is selection or pricing or a convenient, shopping experience, to sort of mesh these two together, right? A fundamental from the business and an Indian insight. And I believe that that's really been behind, some of the work that has actually resonated very well with customers. But more on that as we talk about some of the phases of our journey so far.
So tell us a little bit about what's really stood out to you in terms of one of your favorite campaigns that you've worked on, because there have been so many, whether it be Amazon Saheli, Har Pal Fashionable, or even the Great Indian Festival.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you've been on a brand like this for the last. I've spent about 7 years with Amazon in India. It's hard to pick one favorite, but I'll maybe touch upon two or three, and it goes back to the earlier point I was making. So let's start with the early days of Amazon. We wanted to tell customers in India that whatever it is that you were looking for, whichever product, whichever it could be from any category, you are likely to find a plethora of options, not just one or two, on our marketplace, right? And that was behind the Aur Dikhao insight. And the insight was essentially a marriage of what we believed we knew about Indian customers, that they are suckers for choice. They really want a lot of options, a lot of choice in all aspects of life, right? Like you think about your last you're out to buy a particular outfit for a particular occasion that's coming up. You may have liked the first one that you saw, but you will still want to go to a few stores, or you will still want to evaluate a few options before you come back and choose what you believe is going to work for you. It applies to even more serious things in life, like arranged marriages in India. People look at the bride is going to look at a few options for her, and then the families might decide which one seems to be working the best for them. So we picked that insight and we said, hey, Amazon has an endless plethora of products. At that time, I think we were at 2 crore products. It's grown to to many times more today over the last 10 years. And that gave birth to the Or Dikhao campaign, one of the more iconic pieces of work on the brand over the last 10 years. The other thing about e-commerce in India was that it was a new habit for people. You had to order, the product would land up at your doorstep, and there was a little bit of anxiety around this entire experience because you were not able to touch and feel the product, which is typically how customers were used to shopping. And therefore, we felt the need that we will need to tell customers that they can trust us, right? And that their order will be taken care of. If something goes wrong, we are there to kind of resolve whatever issue that the customer has faced. And that gave birth to one of my second, perhaps all-time favorites, which has stayed with the brand for almost a decade now, which is this idea of India's Apni Dukan. Right now, each one of us, I'm sure, will resonate with this neighborhood store who we typically think of as our go-to store. And we often hear customers talk about saying, "Ha, but wahan se le aayenge, whatever is the name of the store, wo to hamare ghar ki dukaan hai ya apni dukaan hai." And that's where that particular insight was born, saying customers tend to trust a particular store or a set of stores, and we want to aspire to be part of that consideration set, and therefore we pitched for customers' trust through this entire campaign called India Ki Apni Dukaan, and all the way down to what we came out with as a thank you to all of our stakeholders, literally on the occasion of the 10th birthday or anniversary in India, just over this weekend. We continue to sort of build upon how Amazon has worked hard over the last 10 years to become India's own store, or India Ki Apni Dukaan. So those are, I think, one or two of my personal favorites. You touched upon the Great Indian Festival. I think we've always taken a very, yes, it's a sale event, but it's more than a sale event, right? It's perhaps one of the biggest occasions for celebration in a typical Indian family, which is the festival of Diwali. And we've always thought of Diwali as not just a let's go and shop, or here is Amazon trying to market itself as a sale event. But we've always tried to become a part of India's celebration of Diwali itself, right? And therefore, we've borrowed some of our brand's iconic assets, like the box, the cardboard box with a smile that shows up at your doorstep and actually lights up. Till date, whenever I receive a package, there is a certain excitement in my household, and we receive packages very often. But that excitement hasn't died down. Like what's come in, what has mom ordered, dad ordered, grandma ordered. That's a typical conversation that I see around me, even till date. So we sort of celebrated that, by calling out our boxes as "Khushiyon ke Dibbe," and this is about 2 Diwalis ago. That we've essentially celebrated Diwali as a brand along with our Indian customers, as opposed to try and pitch the sale event as just a sale event. So I would say there are many, but I can in the interest of time I can touch upon these three as perhaps part of my personal favorites.
And you've really evolved with respect to the campaign as well, for Har Pal Fashionable, using someone like an Ananya Pandey. Something that really stood out to me was the Amazon Saheli campaign as well. Tell us a little bit more, because you've really put women at the forefront as becoming business women and really taking control of their own lives. What was the thought process?
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. So look, this is we are a marketplace, and the marketplace only thrives when we have customers coming to the marketplace looking for whatever products they need, but also equally on the other side, our selling partners, our entrepreneur partners, right? Who power the selection, who power all the goods and products that they are selling on the marketplace to our customers. So Saheli was one such of many Karigar, Saheli. These have been programs that have really helped us tap into the entrepreneurial spirit that exists in the country. And our mission is to have, digitize the way India buys and sells, right? And thereby transform lives. And that's really what was the inspiration behind saying, hey, this is a country of millions, who knows, maybe, triple digit millions of customers, as well as triple digit millions of entrepreneurs. And our dream is to sort of connect the two key parts of this ecosystem, in some sense, through the marketplace that we have. So that gave rise to a bunch of ideas where we could actually tap into the existing entrepreneurial spirit. That is a very Indian spirit, right? And there are people who have a passion for a particular product, and lack the access. Sometimes lack a storefront, right? Sometimes lack an ability to be able to take their entire offering across the country and actually tap into the exports opportunity by being able to sell on Amazon beyond just the customers in India to customers across many different parts of the world. So that's really, what has energized parts of our team to be able to sort of tap into that inherent opportunity that we believe is very rich in a country like India.
Right, and walk us through the latest as well in terms of the invention that Amazon has really seen across brands, and how that really has evolved in terms of how the consumer behavior as well over the years have changed. What is it that you have observed when it comes to India as a market, and thereby adapting the campaigns for India?
Yeah. I'll talk about a couple of places where we've sort of kept a finger on the pulse of the customer as she or he have essentially started to accept buying online as a part of their daily habits, right? So if you look at something that the brand spoke about very recently, the Amazon campaign that we ran just a few months ago, and that's a theme for a period of time in this year and maybe even beyond, which is this whole idea of "Aapne aaj kya kharida," right? Uh, the initial days in the country were such that Amazon would typically be the go-to option when customers wanted to buy something that was typically larger, in terms of its price point. Like you were upgrading your home for a Diwali celebration. You were buying a better refrigerator, or you were buying your first air conditioner, or a larger screen television, etc. But today, the country has evolved to a state where e-commerce has become more and more a part of everyday lives, especially in metro cities, tier one, tier two parts of the country. And people are coming to places like Amazon, to be able to sort of tap into their everyday shopping needs, right? And that's really what we are observing, and we wanted to kind of tap that particular opportunity and remind customers that you should definitely come to us when you're thinking about large value purchases, like festivals, occasions, key celebrations in your life stage, but also come to us when you think about a convenience of buying online, from your home, from your pockets, literally from your mobile phone, for everyday essentials, right? And that's really what the campaign is trying to sort of talk to customers about. In fact, acknowledge that customers have now reached a level of comfort with the shopping experience on Amazon, that they are already beginning to show that behavior, right? And we want to just encourage them to be able to sort of leave some of their everyday essential shopping with us. Uh, if I think on the other side, there are specific businesses that we would like to sort of take to our customers as we improve our offering, and the fashion space is one such. You referred to the recent campaign around Harpal Fashionable. We've really worked hard on sort of improving our core fundamentals, whether it is selection, whether it is the pricing of the products we have on offer, the new season merchandise that we launch along with the rest of the landscape, and how you have lakhs and lakhs of styles and products across thousands of brands, for the latest collection of products that you could buy on our platform as well. So, that's really the idea between the latest campaign and the thought of Harpal Fashionable. Like any moment, any occasion, small or big, it could be an everyday occasion for you, or it could be a big, Saturday party that's coming up, or an occasion in someone's life. You should be able to buy your entire look, which is on trend, which is as per the latest season's collection that's come out on Amazon Fashion, and that's really the gist behind that. So, things are busy across both the horizontal messaging org for Amazon.in, as well as for specific parts of the business, whether it is grocery or fashion or even the Prime program, right? And how we are taking some of these to our customers and seeing some great response back from them.
All right, Ravi, it's been a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much for taking time out and giving us a flavor as to how things are working and the ideation process behind Amazon India, and wishing you a happy anniversary for completing 10 years.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I think we refer to it as day one internally, but this is an assurance to all viewers and customers in India that we're just getting started. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.